Well, NTA's not going to be able to make it. I just got word from them. Come on in, anybody who wants to come on in. I got it up and running a little early tonight. I figured if nothing else, I'll cut out a little early later on. But we're up and running. Would it be? Would it be? Oh, sent all my invites out. This is the MuzzleMonday. Actually, number 2. See how this goes. Maybe we'll keep her going. Maybe we'll keep her going. But yeah, I've decided to go ahead and start this up again today and see what comes out. Who wants to come up and hang out? I know I was talking to Navy Thomas 8 earlier, and he said he's going to try to do it, but he has things came up, so it's not going to work out for him tonight. But all the other can come on. I know I have. I'll be having the mayor watching. He said I'll be watching. I said hi, hi mayor. Thank you for watching. Even though I have no viewers yet because I am early. I'm only about, what, 11 minutes early? I'm always early. Let's try some Google effects out here. We'll just drive some people nuts. They do decide to watch. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. My cell phone. But yeah, it's today's been pretty much rainy, cloudy all day around my area. So that wasn't a joke. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed my last video I put up today. I'll tell you, that one Gravity movie, it was, I mean, it was bad. It was bad. Invited a bunch of you in. I hope you make it. Of course, I'm going to let it go until about 20 after. If nobody shows up about 20 after, maybe quarter after. If nobody shows up by then, I'm going to go ahead and shut her on down. But until then, let's go ahead and see what we can do. Supposed to be even worse tomorrow as far as the rain and everything. Hey Dante, hey Dante.
What's up?
Nothing much. How about yourself?
All surviving.
Surviving.
Yep.
Yeah, I seen your last video. That didn't look like surviving to me.
This is the point I laugh about it now.
I mean, that is nut job, I tell you.
Oh, dude, they're attracted to me, man. You want to find the weird ones? Let me go look, and I'll find them.
Oh, you step out the front door, huh?
Believe me, man, it's comical at this point. That's why I just don't even instigate anymore. And when they start doing that, I'm like, forget you.
Yeah. I gotta say, I was totally lucky. I mean, the first woman I dated was actually my wife, and that was 20-something years ago. You know, very lucky.
Yeah.
If I were to go on a dating scene right now, I'd probably put a gun to my head.
I'm not going to do that, but okay. I'm a little more strong-minded than that.
Oh, I tell you, I've came across so many nut jobs just around my area, and it seems like my wife and I both attract them, and they'll come up and they'll start talking about their life, and it's like, I don't want to hear it. You know, I don't want to hear your life. I have enough problems.
Oh, dude, trust me, I got stories that would make your fucking mouth drop.
Uh,
I've dabbled in online dating a good bit, I guess you can say. And I remember that I don't have the text file anymore, but there was this one girl I met on this game. Anyway, I was, oh hell, how old was I? I had to be 20, 21, somewhere around there. 19 maybe, somewhere around there. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to be able to get the money to go down and meet her because she lived in Alabama, which was going to kill two birds with one stone because I was born down there and I wanted a chance to see the area I was born in.
yeah.
And this one, I mean, she was total throw me in a straitjacket because I no longer exist on the normal plane anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've known people that consider themselves really spiritual, this and that, but basically the best and most amazing breakup speech I ever had was that we cannot be together because I have to go fight on the astral plane.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it was a lot more drawn out than that. I looked at that. I said, "Yeah, I'm saving that text."
That is out there quite a ways.
Oh yeah, because it was so bad and so funny that I kept it and I copied it and pasted it in my messenger window and pretty much sent it to everyone I knew at the time. Said, "Dude, check out what I was just told."
Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah. It was comical. I mean, you just had to laugh. And anymore, I mean, I dated one girl pretty much all through high school. We broke up a couple months before we graduated. And then she begged me to get back together, so we got back together. And she basically then we broke up again before graduation. She approached me at graduation, and I basically said, "I'm done." You know, once I grabbed my diploma, I started a new life.
I mean, it'd be like, you know, sanity checked out a long time ago. Go on your way.
Yeah, pretty much, and you know, it's not really fair because basically, you know, she was, I can't describe it, but
I mean,
yeah,
it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if they hear themselves whenever they say things. You know?
oh, dude, I still have the text just for comedic value of the girl I was talking about. I mean, I'm like, really? All I did was just block her number so she couldn't blow up my phone anymore. And you know, she told me probably, I don't know, last month sometime that she'll every couple months she'll just go and get her number changed. I said, why? Oh no, it's just something I do. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird.
Extremely.
You know, and
personally,
and this is coming from someone who has a fucking mascot head, and you know, this comes from someone who goes to conventions and talk to people that dress up in animal costumes, you know, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but okay.
I use a burner phone for a cell phone. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit that. But the thing is, I've had that same cell phone number for maybe 10 years. I mean, I'm not to go out and get a new phone number every month. I don't understand people.
Well, I've had the same phone number since 2002. You know, that was my original phone number for my original contract, and I've had it since 2002.
Well, my phone number actually came from a Verizon contract that I had. I let it lapse, and whenever it lapsed, they shut me off, but I was able to carry it on with it to me over onto TrackPhone. So I went ahead and that just pay as I go then. That way there's
Well,
no surprises.
well, they passed a thing saying that you can take your number with you. Before, back when I got my number, when you left a carrier, you lost your number. See, now I like if I decide I don't want to be a Verizon anymore, which I really didn't want to, but the way things happened to work out, I had to go back because I had about 2 months left on my contract, and my phone died, and I didn't want to do another insurance claim
Mm.
just to get through 2 months and then have to buy another phone again. So it was cheaper for me just to re-up and replace the phone that way. But anyway, see, you know, that time I could have took it to Sprint or AT&T. But yeah, back before, I think it was like around 2005, 2006, when they passed a law stating that you can now take your number with you. I mean, as long as you don't, as long as it's not like breach of contract.
Yeah.
But
I mean, around where I live, actually, whenever I had Verizon, I had more dead spots with Verizon than I did with my track phone at the time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm already out of contract. I'm already paying month to month. I might as well go ahead and say goodbye Verizon and pick up a track phone. You know, and it was just that much better for me.
well,
And
well, you,
that's the only reason why I went with Verizon with the track phone.
well, you know, most regional carriers and track phones use Verizon towers, right?
Yeah, and that's what surprised me because I was told, well, you're still using Verizon lines. Well, why am I having dead spots with a Verizon phone? You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
a lot of that has to do with the phone itself, and a lot of that also has to do with how current. I don't have to worry about that too much anymore because it's all 4G phones. But before, when it was still just solely CDMA phones,
Hmm.
you had to do what was called about every couple of months. You had to do a network update, which was like star 228 you called, and then it would give you an option to update roaming capabilities.
Yeah.
And then what it would do is it would take 5-10 minutes, and then it would beep at you, and then you'd watch your signal go away, then the signal would come back. But about every couple months on my other phones, I would uh, I would do a network update.
I mean,
That's
technically,
why.
my phone's only a 3G phone because I mean I'm too cheap to upgrade myself. I'm always upgrading my wife. You know how that
Well,
goes.
honestly, next time you have it, pick up and go star 228, and that'll update roaming capability.
But my wife's talking about upgrading her phone. I just did hers 2 months ago. Yet again, she wants a more modern smartphone. Myself, hey, if it dials up, I'm happy.
Well, on TrackPhone, the only way, I mean, unless you get a TrackPhone with a SIM card, and even with that, it's T-Mobile's towers, it's not AT&T. And T-Mobile service, I mean, it's getting better, but if the T-Mobile and Sprint merger goes through, then that'll be all right
Yeah.
because then they'll have Sprint towers, but T-Mobile, because at anytime you get a, because more of your modern phones, especially more and more modern for like track phone, they're GSM phones, and for the longest time when you went through like Straight Talk or Track Phone and you had a SIM card,
Yeah.
it was AT&T's towers you ran. But within the last year, AT&T finally won their lawsuit against TracFone because people with GSM track phones were getting unlimited data on AT&T's network, and pretty much anyone else on AT&T's network was data restriction,
Yeah.
But now, no longer are the phones through TracFone through AT&T. They're through T-Mobile.
I mean, myself, I've thought about getting one of those, like those cheap Walmart phones. I mean, at one point in time, they had unlimited data, but they don't now, from what I understand. I should have
Well, it
picked
depends on which
them
phone
back
you
then.
buy. It depends on what phone you buy. Yeah, you're talking about the Straight Talk phones, and
Yeah. Those
yeah,
ones
and
there.
pretty much any one of those you buy that don't have a SIM card, they're CDMA, they're Verizon phones.
I've actually thought about getting one of those for like whenever I'm on the road. That way, I don't need to find a hot spot to hook into. I got it with me. You know what I mean? Because I'm always uploading videos.
Yeah, but you're not using your phone to do it.
Well, if I had the phone that turned into a hotspot, I would. Whenever I'm on the road.
You
That's
see,
just what.
well, see, my old Droid X, I had it hacked to hell and back, and I basically had a free hotspot with it. But now Verizon's really cracked down on that because I used to have unlimited data too, like Navy Thomas,
Yeah.
and I lost it because that was why I was going to go to Sprint because Sprint and T-Mobile are the last two that actually offer unlimited data, and I was going to go buy a Nexus. At the time, I was going to buy a Nexus 4 and go to Sprint. Well, now after I re-upped and got my Note 3, which I love my Note 3, don't get me wrong, Sprint now carries the Nexus 5. I'm like, you bastards. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my Note 3. I have no complaints about it. It's an absolute powerhouse.
Myself, as long as I can call out, I'm happy. Even though it's a little bit more than just a call out phone.
I've seen a lot of customers who have that have one of those.
I mean, this right here, it's an old LG, but I mean it's a few years old, but it works.
Yeah.
And every time I turn around, I just look at my wife because this was my wife's phone, and I say,
Yeah.
"Did I tell you lately how much I hate my phone? Because I hate this freaking thing. I really do. My fingers are too large for the little freaking touchscreen buttons. I have to go literally get a stylus to touch them. You know?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah. Like, give me a freaking stylus.
I've not had a use for that yet. But anyway, I'll be right back. I'm going to make sure I don't have to burn my food.
Sure. Oh, that's Dante Fox. I see I have 2 viewers. Hello, viewers. Good night, viewers. Even though I'm sticking around. Hope you guys are at least enjoying this. Oh, my hangouts are really, really sucky. That's okay. That's okay. It's just for us to hang out and say yo to each other. Oh. Of course, Dante's got to make food while we're out here hanging out. I'll raise my volume up a little bit. Oh, I have better work. Okay, hey everybody. Anybody wants to come on in? Come on in. As far as I know, it's wide open, except unless you're under 18. That way, we don't have to worry too much what we're saying. I know a few of us like to cuss like a sailor. Some of us are actually sailors, and we still like to cuss. We like to cuss worse than sailor. Uh, I don't want that. Put the questions and answers up and running. But yes. I missed Reed's Buds hangout on Saturday. Oh, missed it over watching. Hey, Dante. I was just chatting, filming dead air.
That's fine. Oh, believe me, I know all about chatting to dead air.
I was just saying how I missed Reed's Buds Chooch Saturday.
Yeah,
Here, not thinking, I rented some movies for the wife and I to see that night, and to be honest with you, the one movie I would rather been on the Chooch. We've seen Gravity. I mean, that movie could have been done in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the review. I didn't watch it yet. I went and seen Catching Fire in the theaters, and I didn't think I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was fun. I mean, I thought it was as good as the first one. I mean,
some people I heard said that they didn't like it compared to the first one. Myself.
Oh, they're just being purists. It ain't like the book. That's what it is.
Well, they stopped it halfway through the book, from understanding.
I still have this to watch. I bought, I was waiting because I didn't think he was going to have one Saturday because he had it late. So I went and bought Kick-Ass 2 and Book of Eli because I never got to see it fully from the beginning. So I was watching the Book of Eli when finally the notification popped up. I'm like, shoot, I gotta stop.
Well, I was talking to Navy Thomas 8, and he said he actually went to bed. He gave up and went to bed because it got pushed back.
Well,
I told him,
he did it late thinking people would want to, come in later, wanting to stay out later.
well, you figure some people like NT8, they're getting old.
Oh, that's mean. That's mean.
Oh, I've already commented about Tom's age. Today was Tom's birthday. And Tom, you want to watch it? Happy birthday.
Well, see, that's just it. It's, he's more close to Navy's time zone than I am.
Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock, so it's actually 7 o'clock or so, because I think they're like only 1 hour behind.
Well, see, I actually forgot today was Tom's birthday until I popped up on my Facebook for a split second. I got it set up so the timeline will pop up for people's birthdays.
Mm-hmm. Skype told me.
Well, it popped up that today was Barbie's birthday, and the reason I put it up like that is kind of hide it from other people because Tom bought his bike on his birthday.
Yeah.
So I hurry up and going over and said, "Hey, Tom, happy birthday."
Yeah.
But I have missed his birthday for 2, maybe 3 years.
Well, see, like I said, Skype gave me the notification when I woke up this morning, and I set him an offline.
I don't use Skype on. The only thing I have that might use Skype is my laptop, and it is so old and so crappy, it just chokes out. I mean, it barely does this. Come on. I've thought about getting an HD camera and trying it on this, see if my video's any better.
Yeah, it'll make a difference. Because if I went and grabbed my tablet and joined on it, the video would be better. If I did it on my phone, video would be probably light years. But
Yeah. Oh,
you know, you're looking at the webcam on my laptop. I think highest it goes is like 460 by. Oh, what does it fucking go by? It probably won't let me open it. Effects, settings. Oh, it's not going to give me the. I think it's like 640 by 480.
I think what this is.
That the webcam on the laptop does, and my the front-facing camera on my phone. Oh god, I think it's like an 8-megapixel camera. It'll do. Hold on. So the front. Yeah, the front-facing camera on my phone will do 1080p.
Yeah, that makes our machines look so awful, you know.
Oh, dude, the rear camera on my phone will do 2K video. I have nothing that supports 2K. That's what I said. I mean, I absolutely love the Note 3. It's almost more powerful than my laptop.
Well, you think about that was just like NT8 just made a video not too long ago about how some of the which was it GoPro's coming out with a camera that has 4K.
Yeah, 4K.
Nobody's going to have any software or anything to support it, you know. Not for motovloggers.
Well, see, that's the bad part too. 2K is not even that mainstream yet. 2K TVs are still $2,000-$3,000.
Even with the TVs, I've quit trying to keep up to date. I still have my old flat screen HD Toshiba from, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
Well, the only reason I have a modern TV is I have because a friend of mine, he decided it wasn't big enough for him, and because the TV was only like 6 months old, and he went and bought a new one, and it was saying, "Hey, everyone would want it." I said, "Yeah, shit, I'll buy it. How much you want for it?" And it's like $1,000. At the time, the TV, brand new TV was over $2,000. I'm like, $1,000? Hell yeah, man. I know it's only 6 months old, and you don't watch that much TV. So, I mean, that's the only reason I got the LED TV, because before I had just a regular 32-inch plasma. Now I have a 47-inch LED.
Mine's a 42-inch LED. Now, at one point in time, if you walked in my house, walked in the living room, if I had the laptops in there, it looked like a Toshiba commercial. I had Toshiba this, Toshiba that, but anymore, from hearing people that have more problems with the Toshiba laptops and so on, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of veering away from them. You know what I mean?
Well, mine's been a trooper. This is the first Toshiba I ever owned. My other desktops have all been HPs.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to buy an HP laptop, but Best Buy didn't have the model I wanted. So.
Well, I'm on my second hard drive on this.
Still original.
I'm on my third or fourth power my charger for this.
Still original for me.
Well, mine gets packed up on the bike and on the road whenever I go. So it takes a beating, you know.
I carried this in my backpack for 2 years to Anthracon it.
So I mean,
Before I bought a laptop case, I got a laptop case now, but for 2 years I carried it in my backpack.
well, see, my laptop case for this is actually an old Dell laptop case. My father-in-law owned a, well, they used to call them a brick, the old Dell laptops
Hmm.
from the 90s.
Hmm.
And it was big enough to fit this in, and I figured, I'm just going to beat it up anyway while I buy a new laptop case. And that thing will barely fit in my side cans on the go. Now, if I leave this out of the laptop case, it'll fit on my tail bag, no problem. So,
Well, there is someone on YouTube I subscribe to. You will probably get a kick out of him. Let me get his name for you. He goes by UXW Bill.
UXW Bill.
He is a do-it-yourselfer. He is all about uh, I'll send you a link if you need me to.
It should be too hard. Fine.
I mean, he lives in Tennessee somewhere, I think. How many viewers we got?
Let me click back to find out. Last time I looked, I think there's 3. Yep, we're down to 2. We're doing good.
Well, one's for a suburban rider.
Yes, he told me that he'll be watching. Thank you, Bear. Thank you.
The other one, I don't know.
It can't be some kid unless he's using an account that says over 18. Which that can happen so easily.
I know.
I mean, you figure security is so strong with this stuff. It's unreal. Then you got old timers like me that have a hard time even setting up the hangout.
No, you're doing fine. Where's Rix? He's the one that asked me about this.
He's too busy planning for his trip in a couple of weeks. Planning on coming to Pennsylvania in a couple of weeks.
He replied that he was coming to this, I think.
To be honest with you, I didn't even bother looking at those.
Well, I get a notification on my phone every time someone comments or replies.
I set it up. I invite all my circles and all my everybody. Then I just leave it open to whoever.
Well, you guys said it's private, actually.
It shouldn't have been.
Oh, Facebook, what do you want?
It shouldn't have been, but who knows? I'm not closing down restart, and I can just.
No, that's fine. Yeah, Rich replied that he was going to come. Uh-oh. What did you just add?
I just turned up your volume a little bit.
Leave me alone, people.
It must be your crazy girlfriend.
No, I blocked her on Facebook.
One nice thing, though, about being the host, you do got the controls about kicking somebody out. I really like that idea. I haven't gotten to use it yet, but I like it.
That's no fun.
Well, they're certain people could be a pain, and it's nice just to say goodbye. You know, you have to keep some going on. People not talking over each other and stuff like that. Whenever you got something set up like this, it just
Oh my God, leave me alone.
heck, while I'm sitting here just listening to Leave Me Alone, I'll go ahead and set my alarm clock for tomorrow morning.
Sorry, someone's blowing up my Facebook Messenger. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But
I've actually thought about getting rid of my Facebook page. It's gotten to be more of a nuisance than anything else. And believe it or not, whenever I post a video, I don't know if you have noticed it with posting your videos, you can't check mark to share it onto Facebook automatically. You have to wait till it's completely uploaded, then click on your own video, and share it that way.
well, if you go into your account settings, you can have it auto share to where it'll
I
do it
had it
automatically.
I had it set that way.
But I know before I removed YouTube's Facebook privileges because it kept spawning, because it kept spamming my Facebook timeline. Every time I watched a video, whether I rated it or not, it was posting.
It did mine did that for a while. But YouTube's been screwing around anyway. It's a lot of things that don't work anymore, you know.
They're trying to link Google Plus and YouTube together.
Well, from my understanding, that was the initial idea with Google Plus in the first place. You know what I mean?
Well, they're wanting to fully integrate it. Like right now, what they have isn't really what you'd call fully integrated.
No, but we still call it Google Tube.
That and I think another reason why you gotta wait, because I think Facebook and Google Plus are kind of at each other right now.
Well, see who's the biggest. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if it's so much that. I think it's just they're doing the old tactics that Apple and Microsoft did. That for one to win, the other one needs to fail. That's what they're doing.
Oh, well. My settings were messed up. You're totally right. I just went on my account settings and they had it where I had to rehook in Facebook.
Yeah, and anytime they do an update, you got to go in and redo your settings because they send it back to default.
Yeah, they left my Twitter there though. You know, last time I actually got on Twitter, that was 3.5 years ago.
I used to be pretty active on my Twitter account, but I've been more focused on the Google Plus profile than my Twitter.
Basically, I use a Twitter account and of course my Facebook mainly for foot traffic. You know.
Well, heck, I have 2 Facebook profiles. I have actually 3 Google Plus profiles, but you only use 2 of them. I have
I have 3 Google Plus myself.
2 Twitters, but I only use 1 of them. The one I started was I was trying to get a blog started. I was trying to get a blog off the ground, and it just wouldn't work.
I do better with MotoVlogging than an actual blog. It drives me nuts to sit there and type in everything I decide to do. And, I mean, I just never get it done. I'm a procrastinator in that, doing that. I mean, it's hard enough for me to think of subjects to talk about on I'm on a motorcycle. You know, that's why most of my videos is just rambling.
Well, I spent probably a better part of like 3 or 4 years using my live journal. I haven't touched my live journal in probably seriously in like probably 4 or 5 years. It used to be where about once a day I was posting on my live journal.
Boy, I had something interesting happen to me Monday. Got a phone call from one of our local government agencies, and that somebody had used my Social Security number. It was for my health insurance, and they wanted to check in to see about, okay, was I going to move out to eastern Pennsylvania or what? Because it was to get a job at a golf course out in eastern Pennsylvania somewhere. And I'm like, no, I own my own house. I'm planning on dying here. There's no way. And so I ended up going through the whole hassle of going through the police department to report it, Equifax, you name it, to get it all stopped. I'm still waiting for what was the findings on that. I was told by a police officer, more than likely it was some Mexican or something. It was illegal. Decided to pull a random number and just happened to be mine.
Not really, because the first 3 numbers depict the state you were born in. I know that much. And then
Oh, let's select here. Got the Tangina MC says, "What's up, Mike? Nothing much." And he said, "What's up again?" And then he said, "What's up?" Got 3 of them on there. So I get to clean it up. Yeah, but I found that out. I just flipped. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I don't really joke around to my friends and stuff. If somebody wants my identity, they can have it because I don't have to get the greatest credit scores. In fact, they kind of suck. I mean, there's nothing about my identity that somebody really wants to steal it, except for that I am a United States citizen.
you're
You
doing
know?
better than me.
Well, you're not a United States citizen, huh?
No, I'm just saying. No, I mean, I said your credit score is obviously better than me because I couldn't even get a fucking car loan.
Urban Rider says, "I've been watching too." LOL. I think you're the only one that's been watching the whole time, Suburban. We got 3 viewers. Thank you for stopping in. I got my Hangout, my Google Plus hop from the bottom, pop it in as I talk. Like I said, Myself, right now, I couldn't get a car loan.
But you have the Mazda.
That Mazda is almost 10 years old.
Yeah.
No, I won't mind, Mayor. The mayor said I'll apply for a loan and to buy a new Harley tomorrow using your name.
Go
Won't mind.
ahead and laugh at you and turn it down.
They'll turn me down flat out, I'll tell you. For one thing, I have everything blocked, my Equifax and everything else. So I got to actually give them a call to give them the okay. You know what I mean? But that I wouldn't have gotten that. Actually, what was it? I think it was my wife had better credit than me. So being that we both applied for that loan, that's why we got it. That and we just bought a house right before we got the Mazda. So that helped. I mean, we paid $30,000 cash for our house. It really looked nice. That was the first time I ever seen $30,000 in my checking account, and that'll be the last time. And before I paid for the house, I told the wife, let's sit there and just look at the balance for a little bit. Enjoy it, because it's never going to happen again.
Well, you know.
If I went to sell my house right now, I couldn't get 12 out of it because of property
Why?
value. Our area is just so dead and depressed. I couldn't get 12,000 out of my house.
Dude, the most happening thing here, well, if we don't count the gas well stuff, the most happening thing in this town is the Walmart, man.
The most happening thing around here are sinkholes. They're cropping up here and there. I was like, oh, jeez. I mean, well, you've lived by the Rust Belts. I mean, you know what it's like.
Yep.
Oh. Here, you could try to pronounce that name. We've got Tangeria MC says, hey, oh, hey.
I think he's got a picture of San Francisco.
I butcher names up so bad, it's unreal. And, you know, I'll be the first one to admit that, and I'll be the first one to apologize for it, you know? I talk
Oh,
phonetically,
you
and
know
I...
who that is? That's Reed's Buzz buddy.
Oh, okay, okay. Cool, cool.
Uh, Hawaii Sidecar or whatever he goes by.
Okay, I would know him better by Hawaiian Sidecar. I'm actually a sub of his.
Yeah, that's who it is.
And
Oh man, I don't know. I ran out of stuff to talk about.
Oh, well, to be honest with you, this has gone on about 18 minutes longer than I thought it might. So, but I'm like, well, I think I'd hang in. Oh, your head.
I need to put that away. It's been sitting on my couch for the last 2 weeks.
Start getting dusty.
Well, it sets in a tote anyway, so it's either let it sit on the couch or let it sit on the in the tote.
I I explained to my wife what a furry was, and she just started busting up laughing. She
She
said,
start. What did you explain?
basically, they're grown people dressing up in animal costumes, furry animal costumes. And I just let them go at that because I didn't want to get any further into it.
No, here you go. I'll give you the
I sent
official
her,
description.
I looked it up and I sent her links to it, and she just shook her head. And she said, I just can't get over people like this. I said, well, I can't. They're stranger people, you know?
Stranger people.
Yes. And you ran into one.
Oh, dude, I always run into them. What are you talking about? What's real fun? There you go. That's a link to the quote-unquote official description. But anyway, no, man. I've been in customers' houses where you walk in like, yep, I know who you are. But you know, I gotta kind of stay, I guess you'd say, professional.
Yes. I agree.
And I was at I was in one person's house, and they left the bodysuit in the washer. And I started pulling it out, and the guy there, he realized that he forgot that was what was in there, and I started pulling the bodysuit out, and I didn't miss a beat. I said, you really should try to get something bigger if you're going to wash this in here. You know, I didn't miss a beat, and then there was the other one, which did you know, or you know about the whole brony thing, right?
Yeah.
The people in the bronies, yeah. Well, I was in what was it? Probably 3-4 months ago. A guy's house, and he answered the door. He had the full blown 20% cooler T-shirt. I said, "Oh, here we go." We walked in the house, and he had the little figures on all around, and I'm staying professional, this and that, and I forget what I was looking at, but he had a closet open, kind of part way, and I could see a bodysuit in there, because some of them do the full bodysuits too.
Hmm.
And anyway, I forget how we got on the subject. I was getting ready to leave. He's like, I'm really surprised you didn't say nothing about all the stuff that's around the house. I said, I know you're a brony. And he looked at me. He goes, "Oh, you know what it is?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You want to know something that's funny?" He goes, "What's that?" I said, "I'm a furry." And he goes, and I said, and he goes, "Oh, I got something in the closet you'll appreciate." And I said, "Oh yeah, I already seen it." I said, "I already seen it through the closet." So he opens the closet and sees it and says, "Yep, that's what I thought it was." And the guy's like, "Oh man, rock on." I'm like,
Well, there's nothing wrong with it in my eyes. I mean, it
yeah.
ain't something I would do, but I can see where I can see somebody think it was cool, you know?
Oh yeah. It's all in fun, I guess.
I mean,
I'm actually gonna go. What is it? Let's see. July is AC. In August, there's the Brony convention in Maryland, and I think I'm gonna go check that one out just to see what it's all about.
uh, I,
I think I'm gonna see what it's all about, and I'm debating if I want to use my second channel for that or not.
why not? In a way, you know.
Yeah. Well, the other reason why I made the second channel to kind of explore into that world, and I made it because just some of the reaction I got from when I did me talking about bronies,
Yeah.
and so I made the second channels to kind of explore into that other world, I guess you would say, and we're gonna find out.
Go to the darkness, huh?
Oh yeah, like I said when I went to my first AC, and you know, like I was talking to buddies, you know, I've talked about, you know, my first experience, my first convention was so over the top, and just some of the stuff that happened was just so out of the ordinary that, you know, only it would happen to me, and I'm kind of, I want to go, but I'm kind of hesitant at the same time because I don't want to have to relive this completely crazy experience all over again. Because when that happened the first time, I was like 25 years old, and you know, at the time, you know, which it doesn't seem like that long ago, but or no, I wasn't 25. How old was I? I was in early 20s, and I. Yeah, at the time, you know, I still thought pretty much was, you know, considered myself 10 feet tall and bulletproof and believed it.
Yeah.
You know,
Been there.
and now, I mean, honestly, I'm not real old, but I don't know if I could go through that shit again. You know, because I remember the girl I was dating at the time. She had to go with me because she was afraid. I don't know what she was afraid of. And then some random dude I literally just met off the message board. We went and picked him up. I drove literally an hour out of the way just to go get him. Some random dude, didn't know him nowhere near as well as I know you guys. You know, because this was before video chatting was normal and stuff like that. So I went and picked up some random guy. Turned out he's a pretty cool guy. And
Picking up random guys. What kind of person are you?
like I said, you know, I was early 20s, 10 feet tall, and freaking bulletproof, man. But yeah, I don't know if I would do that now, but it was definitely an experience.
I mean, I kind of see it in a way of where other people don't understand what motovlogging is. I mean, once they say, well, why motovlogging? Then I explain to them what I do. They said, oh, okay. And then, I mean, it's a lot. I kind of see it being a furry or whatever. I mean, it's kind of that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At first, it's just the idea of having them getting their attention and explaining to them what it is, and if they're open-minded enough to accept it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like the video Stink you made a while ago, and then I made a follow-up to it. That, you know, basically, you know, everyone's just looking for a group to belong to.
Yeah.
You know, no matter, not, some of them are, I guess you wouldn't call normal, and other ones are, it just depends. I mean, you got the social norms. You know, a lot of people, they either dig into some kind of hobby, politics, stuff like that, or religion. They'll use that as a common bond. And then you get the other people that just look for something more personal, I guess.
And groups come and groups go. They do fade off. You know?
I mean, it's no. I mean, the way any convention you look at, I mean, it's no different than. I mean, AC is no different than going to like a Star Trek convention or a Star Wars convention. It's really no different. It's still.
I actually know a guy who has a Star Trek insignia tattooed on his arm. I told him should go on your chest, that way you can go. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I know some Trekkies, man, and a lot of them are furries. And there's one guy who he goes to all the conventions in his suit, and he has a Starfleet uniform. And some of the pictures he posts are just funny, especially when you see oh, god dang it, I can't think of his name now. The guy that played Riker, you could see the look on his face when he was taking the picture with the guy. He thought it was pretty cool, but there was another picture. Oh, I cannot think of his name. Oh, that's terrible. The bald one. What's his real name?
Oh.
He plays the Professor X in X.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the actor's name. I can only think of his.
Yeah, I know. You can only think of his Star Trek name.
Yeah.
Oh, I know his name and I can't think of it right now. Oh, this is terrible. But anyway, people who watch it, they'll know what I'm talking about. You know, the picture he took was more like he had to be there, and then he took a picture with Shatner, and there is not much there of Shatner, man. There's not much left. Shatner is, man. He's in another world. And you know, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that to be honest.
Well, you could tell in the commercials that he's been in that he's not himself. You know what I mean? Even as a person like he used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he was all there anyway, playing Captain Kirk, but still, it made him his money. That's all counts.
Yeah. Well, there's a little more to it than that, but
you get the gist, though. I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I actually like Star Trek. I like the older version, even though it was cheesy. I like that better than the 90s versions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They broke it up so many different directions in the 90s. Is like, okay, why? You know?
Okay, here we go. We'll screen share this. And ta-da.
He's such a cute Starfleet officer.
He's a panda. Oh, where's the ones he's got pictures of? Oh, you're gonna make me go dig through his profile, aren't you? Okay, yeah. Wait. Time to go dig. There's the old one. Old uniform.
Yep.
I actually know that guy. I know, did I say that out loud? There's his page. Yeah, there he is. I'm probably dropping your viewer count.
No, we're holding that too. We're doing good. Yes, we're holding it too.
I haven't completely scared him off yet. Is that Jordy? No, that's the guy from Stargate. Oh my god. He looks nothing like Doc Brown from the movie. He's...
No.
Oh, there we go. Oh, they gave him a smile, but that was a forced smile. There's Data. Right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I think was Worf. Geordi, Crusher. Cannot remember what her name was. Cannot remember.
I kind of viewed her as basically a ship's hoe bag.
Yeah, yeah, you can see that's more or less like, do I have to do this? Alright, that's enough.
Not furry crap.
Oh, I see how it is.
How dare you?
How dare I? It is my job to convert the world.
Convert the world one person at a time. Well, actually 3 because we got 2 viewers. But oh.
Me and another guy I know who subscribes to Tom is another furry. We joked about what Tom would be. And I said, dude, I see him being a zebra.
I could see that.
Just because of the scheme he does with the bike and the mohawk on the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I said I could see Navy being a zebra.
Actually, it'd be cool to have 2 furries show up his front door and knock on his door. You know? He'd stick his little dogs on him.
Most of them, a good majority of them are animal lovers. So.
His dogs are awesome. Tom's dogs are awesome. I had the privilege to beat them whenever I picked the goat up, and they are such great little dogs. The only person that I didn't get to meet was Joe. And he kind of rushed me out of town before I was able to meet him. Like, okay. Don't get too many meetings together, I guess.
Now get the bike and get out of here before I change my mind.
Oh, I tell you, that was one hell of a good ride. It's not a ride that I want to do again too soon. But it was one hell of a good ride.
Well, once I get my vehicle situation squared away, I'd like to come out and hang out for a day.
Well, I've always told the guys, I mean, my place is basically open. I mean, it's not the best of places, but it's here. It's fine. You know what I mean?
Dude, I live in the upstairs of a house, so chances are I have... This room used to be my bedroom. Now it's kind of my quote-unquote living room. And the other room was where my brother's bedroom was. That's my bedroom. I have a really small kitchen. One day when I have it all cleaned up, I'll do a walk around.
Well, see, that's the problem with mine. I'm actually... Every time we think we're getting ahead, it's like, oh, God, we just found more of the kids' crap they shoved in a corner somewhere. And these kids have been gone for like 4 years. I'm like, why are we still hanging on to this stuff? And then I'm fighting to get out in the garage and clean that up because I had two kids store their crap in. I have a 2.5-car garage, and then the one bay was just full of boxes and stuff from the kids. I'm like, how can they have so much crap? We moved out of a smaller place into this place, but yet it was like all packed full, you know.
But
Then I had the privilege of having a garage on the alley. Now that's a nice thing because every time I open up the garage door, I have garbage flowing in. I'm like, come on, guys. I have a garbage can sitting right outside by my driveway, you know.
we'll see. It's on street parking where I live, so.
Same here, except for in the past, somebody's built a garage on my property. The alley was just for garbage pickup. So, but they built a garage in the back of my property, and that gave me the 2.5-car garage. But my property actually had a driveway just enough room for one car to barely get off of the road. Then I had the on-street parking. But now I use it. Well, you can kind of see my videos. One bay is just for the SUV. Well, I have a riding lawnmower snuck in the front of that, and then my bike and garbage is on the other side.
We'll see. There's a little shed right beside the house. That's where we keep the mowers and the garbage can, and everything else is kind of in there.
I'll be building like a lean-to style shed on the other side of my garage, just for my riding lawnmower, my lawn equipment, because I have a lot more lawn equipment than a person really should have in town. I have a postage stamp lawn, and I have a riding lawnmower. The reason for that is, so with the hip replacement, I really shouldn't be pushing a lawnmower. So I have a rider.
Dude, I have like 4 dead lawnmowers in my shed.
Time to scrap.
I don't have a truck to scrap with.
Rent a trailer. That way you're paying more for the trailer than you are getting from the scrap.
Yeah. But no, I got like 4 dead lawnmowers.
See, with me, anything like a lawnmower or anything, I just put it right by the alley, and we have scrappers that come through, basically garbage pickers, and they'll pick up the old lawnmowers and stuff, and they'll take them right down over the hill and scrap them, you know. Same with washers, dryers, anything like that. Now they will not take refrigerators or freezers because of the old ones because of the Freon.
They can't. They're not allowed to junk them unless they're tagged.
Exactly, and in the end, it costs them more to pay somebody to tag it, to remove it and tag it, than it is than what they get out of the scrap, you know. But saying that, I have 2 junk riding lawnmowers sitting in my back lawn. The one is just going to be turned into scrap, but the second one's going to turn into a racing lawnmower, riding lawnmower.
A racing mower.
Yes, that's a redneck thing to do. The engine still runs. The rear end, I mean, it still works. I'm just going to convert put a bigger pulley on it. That way I can get up to speed a little better. It still has a deck on it. The deck is really nice, except for the electrical system is shot.
You gotta take the deck off if you're gonna do that.
But I'll be putting it in more of a stock class. That way I don't have to worry about going too fast with it, because I don't want to. There's no place to test it out for good speed in my area, because I mean the cops have their eyeballs on me, as it is going up and down the alleys with my lawnmower. You go drive down the roads and everything. There was a while there. I had to go 3 blocks away to cut my mother's lawn, and if I wanted to stop at the store, I just stopped the store with my tractor. It was nothing for me. Well, the cops frown on that for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's not road legal. I don't know.
No, it's not. You're supposed to put a slow equipment triangle on it for
I mean,
one,
that,
and even that they can still tag it for it. We'll see. Like mine, I run it on the road for a very short distance, basically just to get around to the backyard.
mhm.
When I do, I turn the little lights on.
That's like what I do with my snowblower, which, yet again, I don't have much to really remove for snow. My sidewalk's only, what, 90 feet from side to side of my property. And then I use the snowblower from my small little, maybe 6 foot driveway. But I have a snowblower, one of those big ones. And what I do is, in the wintertime, I walk it clean around the block just so I can do that little section in front of my house. So everybody, until I get there, gets a free snow blowing.
Oh no! You just don't engage the auger. That's all. Just push
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I hear you.
Well,
I have this big, huge mountain of snow above me by the time I get there.
I'll be all right.
uh, I thought about actually getting a snow blade for my riding tractor. That way, at least I get more seat time.
Yeah, but depending on how much snow you get, a lot of times you just
We
tear up a lot of times you just tear up the mower because they're not made to really push like that.
exactly. I mean, it is not uncommon to get over a foot of snow in a week here in the wintertime. But I ain't going to destroy. I mean, my tractor, technically, even though it wasn't really used much, my tractor is the same age as my motorcycle, I found out. The lady wrecked it, and she was going senile. And the only reason I know she wrecked it is because I've been underneath it. You can tell the signs of somebody repairing it. But she had it repaired, and then it was doing something, and the guy said it's too old to get parts for anymore, which the guy was lying to her. And I mean, it's a 2009 Craftsman. Come on, I mean, you can still get parts for those, you know. Well, anyway, she ended up going to a nursing home, and I ended up getting my hands on it. It's just basically through a family. I actually got my snowblower the same way. My dad passed away. There was this big snowblower that he bought like 15 years ago, maybe longer. Nobody could start it except for him. And nobody could figure out why. I mean, it had the electric start and the pull start, but he lost the electric start cord for it. And nobody could pull start that damn thing. Here, it was a spark plug. It had a cheap junk Champion spark plug in it. I put one of those, was it E3s in it? My little daughter.
I have an E3. I put an E3 in my weed eater.
My little daughter can pull start that second thing now. You know?
Those things are split fires, man.
Yeah, in a freaking snowblower. I mean, I went crazy with those E3s. I had them in my riding tractor at one point in time. My snowblower. I had them in my van. I had at the time. I mean, I went through every engine and got those E3s that I could get for it. I kind of got away from it because, I mean, that's kind of a thing of a past anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I had to buy a new one for my trimmer, and everyone's like, "Well, you know the model number?" I was like, you see that trimmer hanging over there? That's pretty much it."
Yeah.
My trimmer's only literally like a season and a half old, so.
I mean, if I knew I could get away with it safely, I wouldn't mind putting one in the goat to see what kind of fuel mileage I get out of it. Because they do
Safely.
help with fuel mileage. Huh?
What do you mean safely? You don't think it handle it?
I'd be afraid of heat issues.
It's Japanese, man.
Yeah, and that thing, I'll tell you, you got to watch it. It will, the fans will kick on, but if you sit in one place, well, all motorcycles that way anyway, you overheat them. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of stop and go around here. I just so afraid of doing more harm than good. You know what I mean?
You flush the cooling system out, don't you?
Mhm.
And it still
Yeah.
overheats.
Well, yes. It's just I can't explain to you. It just does. It start actually. First time I ever noticed it was we were on a trip. Well, whenever I had a trip coming home with Tom, we stopped and it was stifling hot outside. I don't even know what the temperature was. And we waited for Tom's girlfriend to get through, Michelle Obama, and it was sitting there idling, it was starting to overheat. We actually ran into their motorcade. But ever since then, it was like, yeah, the fans will kick on, but it's just, I think a lot of it is all of the covering. I mean, it's got the crash guards all on it. It's got the highway pegs, extra guards for that.
Yeah.
I think it just might be too much on there, which I'm not going to remove it because they protect it.
Yeah.
If I see it's starting to heat up a little bit, I'll just shut the damn thing off.
We kind of want to get that.
But I was thinking the E3s, that just added an extra heat.
Well, there's split fire plugs. What they are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, quite a different name. I think it was my father that couldn't get over. I was buying a split fire spark plug for my push mower. So you get better fuel mileage. I said, yeah, I can get 2 cuts out instead of 1 per time.
I get 2.5 out of the mower I got now, and it's plugging. It's probably 15 years old. It's
I've
an
got an
old.
old. I've got an old. Go ahead.
It's an old lawn boy.
I have an old Craftsman that was. I looked at the plate on it, and it says 92, 1992. Now this came from my neighbor because I blew up the one I bought whenever I bought the house. But he gave to me. He's there, Mike. I have this lawnmower. You can have it here. I he does he doesn't cut grass anymore because he turned his whole lawn into a garden. And he said you could have it. I haven't started it up for many years. And he was totally shocked whenever I just put a little bit of gas in it and pulled the rope, and she started right up. An old Craftsman.
The lawn boy I have is the old aluminum deck with the offset discharge chute that has the smooth wheels. It doesn't have the.
Okay.
I mean, it's old.
I remember seeing those back in the late 70s. That some of them had blue paint on the deck.
No, this is green. This ain't that old.
Green. Okay. But I know what you're talking about. I actually had a couple of them I salvaged and got running and gave them away. I mean, they need something stupid like a spark plug.
No, I debated on doing another yard work video.
Why not? That was just so exciting.
Yeah, like I said, I still got like six more parts of the me taking the trimmer to the bush in the backyard, and I didn't put them all up.
Well, to be honest, this year I've been so freaking lazy, procrastinating. I mean, my grass is tall. I could have cut it last week, but it was like I would walk out, look at the riding lawnmower, look at the goat, and say, you know what, let's go riding. You know?
Oh, just put the helmet on, turn the camera on, and do a couple laps around the yard.
That's not as fun.
Yeah, it is because then everyone's looking at you like, what the hell is wrong with him?
I did that once. Whenever I was back whenever I first started motovlogging. I rode my tractor from my house to my mom's house to cut grass, cut her grass while I was recording, and made it back. And you should have seen the look. And I just looked at him and said, "Gotta be safe."
Not
Okay, let's go.
safe. Yep, everyone stare at me. I'm the tool on the road on the lawn tractor.
Pulling a trailer.
Oh, he's
Small
pulling a
little,
trailer too.
yeah, a little plastic. I mean, I still have a little plastic dump trailer. What I used to do is put my extra gas and oil and my weed whacker in the back of that. That way I can drag it back and forth.
Extra oil.
Yeah, for my weed whacker.
Oh, extra two-cycle.
Hmm.
He didn't carry a two-cycle can?
Actually, I did for a little while, but I forget who it was, but I told him, said, go ahead and put gas in my tractor. And I was sitting on the front porch where I couldn't see the tractor. They put two-cycle oil in my lawnmower, my riding lawnmower, and I'm like, well, fix that now on. I'll go ahead and just carry one can of gas and just mix it myself, as I put it in. Because I used to have nieces and nephews that would like to give a hand whenever they could, you know what I mean?
We'll see.
That poor thing burned for a week, oil. I just let it go. Pulled the spark plug out and cleaned it.
Well, it's better to do it that way than the other way around.
Hmm.
You put straight gasoline in a weed eater, you're gonna burn the rings up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've actually got my hands on a few weed whackers that people done that to, and basically all I did is just take them apart, pull the carburetor off of it, and any parts I could use, and toss the engine.
The hardware store that used to be open where I work, they sold a lot of steel appliances, or steel trimmers and chainsaws, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we had a bunch of they had a bunch of leftover snow blowers they bought from one winter, and they couldn't get rid of. Well, the ones they had left are like two real little ones, and they're two-cycle. Well, they sold one, and the guy brought it back, said it just died. Well, he took it to the guy that worked on them, and he said the guy he fried it. He just put straight gasoline in it. And the guy's like, "Oh no, I didn't. I put two-cycle in it. Oh yeah, that's why the rings are seized because you put two-cycle in it."
I mean, if you really wanted to spend the time and spend more money than it's worth, you could bring it back to life. But it's not worth it.
You'd have to you'd have to do more than just change the piston rings. You got to hone the cylinder wall, and by the time you do that, it's going to be too big. So you'd have to get a bigger piston or oversized rings.
Or sleeve it.
That's even more trouble though, because then you got to punch it out, and then you got to press the sleeve in.
Exactly. Like I said, you could save it, but it's not worth it.
I mean, if you do that, like I said, you'd have to punch the cylinder out and press the sleeve in, and then new piston, new oil rings.
I guess a die-hard do-it-yourself probably would tempt it, but I wouldn't.
If you had a milling machine, if you had a milling machine, you could do it, but you couldn't sit there and try to hone it out. You know how long that would take?
Oh,
you try to hone it out by hand?
No, I used to rebuild brake calipers and hone the pistons walls for them, and no, I couldn't even jump doing a weed whacker. It's messed up.
Like I said, you need a little milling machine to punch the cylinder wall and then put the sleeve in, and then you need a press to press it in. It'd be cheaper in the long run just to get some set of oversized rings.
Yeah.
And then you could, like I said, in a way, hone it out oversized and just get the oversized rings. Oh yeah, I know about all that.
Well, someday, I mean, I'll probably more than likely be sending the upper end out to do the goat. They commonly go out. The KLR 650 normally needs an upper end overhaul at about around 50,000 k.
How many
About
miles?
miles. Around 50,000 miles.
50,000.
Yeah. But I'm thinking it might be
That's
cheaper just to
basically a
buy.
head job.
Basically, I mean, you got to replace. You have that jug done and everything. And basically, what I'm thinking about maybe doing is just buying the 683 kit, which I mean, some of them I've seen you actually get the jug. Sometimes you have to send your jug out. You know what I mean?
You know anyone that has a machine shop that you could use?
Oh, I know several machine shops around the area. It's just the idea of getting it in and get it done.
Do you know anyone that would let me use the machine? Because I was a machinist for a while. I could punch it. I still got my tools.
I mean, I've had car engines that I had redone. I mean, I I basically rebuilt a Chevy Vega, the four-cylinder from the 70s.
I know what a Vega is.
Yeah, they always lost either number 3 or number 4 cylinder, and I mean I rebuilt them from basically most of the parts were from junkyard, and I mean it worked out, but I don't want to do that again. I end up owing more favors to that machine shop than anything else, you know. It wasn't even my car.
Well, really needs a good drill press. A good drill press and someone that can make you makeshift boring bar.
But I mean, luckily, I don't put the miles on the goat like Tom did. I mean, in what 3 years he put 21,000 on that thing. In the last
Oh.
two years, I've only put like 4,000. Yeah.
Well, he uses the bike as his primary transportation, though.
That, and he did travel the country a lot.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? Baker X Derek on his Ninja. I think he's got 60K on his Ninja. That's unheard of for a sport bike. That's
Ninjas are
unheard.
not what you call comfortable bikes to be on in the first place.
Oh, he loves it. I mean, I guess if that's what you ever if all you've ever rode and you get used to it and you don't think nothing of it, I guess.
True, true. I mean, like the KLR, they have more of a dirt bike seat than.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like for me, you know, like that night I was going through and there was an older Ninja I found. The guy was dirt cheap. He said it wouldn't stay running. The guy ended up selling apparently, but everyone's like, well, you know, it isn't comfortable. I said, well, the older ones were more of an upright seating position.
Hmm.
I said, you know, basically, you know, what it's going to be at this point is whatever I can find for the price, guys. So I'm trying to do this on the cheap.
Hey, I know where you're coming from on that one. I mean, I wouldn't have all the stuff on the goat unless Tom put it on.
Well, like I sent you a link through the regular chat of another. It's an older bike, but it's something I wouldn't mind having.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I,
it's not exactly what I was wanting, but it's a motorcycle.
I mean, if it wasn't for Tom putting risers and the handlebars actually risen up, I think, an inch and a half. Well, they're raised up and back, so
Mhm.
you're up in an upper right position more. And I'll
Mhm.
tell you, if it wasn't for that, that bike would be uncomfortable to ride,
Yeah.
especially with your feet being right underneath you, you know.
Yeah.
And it helps whenever you put an ATV seat cover on it too,
Yeah.
which mine is totally shot. But you know what I just do? I just keep scooting my butt a little bit further back, use a little bit more of it, you know.
Dig out the duct tape.
Oh. Well, what it is my boot. Whenever I gotta kick my leg up to get on that bike. The bike's actually a little too tall, but I gotta kick my leg up, and the tie-ins, the quick lacers, will actually catch on the seat a little bit.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what started it tearing. And he said it's an old one anyway. Well, still, they're not expensive. They're like $20 to replace. But
How
it's
t-
just something, huh?
how tall are you?
I'm actually 6 foot. I have a 31 inch inseam.
Okay, I'm 6'5", and I'm pretty sure my inseam's 32. So,
I'm all torso.
I'm about 5 inches taller than you, and my inseam I think is like another inch higher.
Yeah.
So,
So you're all torso more than I am. Now you got like Jose. He's just a short guy. He's sort of 5'7", and he was riding a KLR. That poor guy couldn't have been touching the ground much. He's
hi.
happy with his Versus though. He's
Oh,
got
that's a
that
nice bike.
Versus, and he's very happy. It is. It is. I still razz him about giving up his KLR. That's just going to happen. But it is a nice, really nice bike, you know. It does have fuel injection. It does have ABS brakes. I understand it's a pretty comfortable bike.
What's more of a street bike? That's why.
Yeah. He does have the option, so you could put the knobby tires, and it probably would do well for, say, like dirt roads or dirt path. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But he's pretty much given that up. He said in his area where he lives, it's just not safe. Which I won't ride off-road myself unless I have somebody with me. Because, it takes two men and a boy just to pick the goat up off the ground. I actually laid the goat down coming home from Chicago in some gravel.
Oh yeah.
And these two big, these are big guys. They're riding motorcycles. They're riding big Harleys. He said, "Oh, we'll give you a hand." And you know what? They grunted and groaned to get that bike off the ground. It didn't look that heavy. Said the goat is heavy.
Well, because you got all the boxes on it, and
I had that fully loaded too. I had all my gear on it. If that bike would have broken down, I could have had it fixed in no time, on my own. And that's one of the things I do like about the KLR. It's something that I know about I can fix. If nothing else, I always carry the shop manual along with me too. But I
easy.
still have my first bike, that KZ. It's still parked in my garage. I look at it and I really should part it out.
KZ what?
It's KZ 750. It's an '82.
Oh, dude, there's a guy down here that's selling one.
I wouldn't touch it. There's a couple of reasons I wouldn't touch it. Brand new, off the showroom floor. They only got 34 miles to go. And then,
Oh,
anytime you go to work on it, everything's just got to be so perfect, or it won't run.
this is the one. The one down here is a 78 kz 650 in mint condition.
I thought I was just getting the motorcycles. It was my first motorcycle. Like, oh right, and I didn't realize it didn't click in my head that all motorcycles weren't created the same. Then I found out that I only got 34 miles to gallon at best. Like, no, this ain't working out. Now the engine, the engine needs to be just swapped out. One I got. Could it be rebuilt? Yeah, but it wouldn't be cost effective. Not nowadays, being an '82. I have thought about getting a 650 because they were more common and putting that in the frame. But still, I'm not getting the fuel mileage. So I'm like, well, I'm thinking about just parting it out piece by piece and selling them on eBay.
Does it
But
run?
it doesn't run now because I got it all tore down. It's got this little starter. What was it called? Anyway, this little starter piece inside of it. It's gone bad. It's actually inside the engine in the middle of it. And I need to get that all apart, get that out. And I did lose number 4 cylinder. It's a 4-cylinder bike.
Yeah.
And I figured out why, because I never really paid attention to the exhaust on it because it did sound good. Here, the last owner removed the crossover pipe. So that burned out number 4 cylinder.
Oh.
So, I mean, could it be saved? Yeah. Would I like to see it saved? Yeah. Just because it's an '82, you know. But on the other hand, is it cost effective now? And I've got several projects in my garage that are basically in that mode right now. I'm like, well, I should just get rid of this stuff because it's not cost effective to go any further, you know. We're holding pretty steady at 3 viewers. Thank you guys for watching.
No one's commenting.
They must be sleeping. Oh.
They're off doing work and listening to us.
But I'm actually working towards getting a tire changer, one of those universal ones that you can do car tires and motorcycle tires.
Yeah.
And I'm actually working on the plan of getting a motorcycle table put in my garage.
I was going to ask you if you was going to get a second bike to take the place of the KLR.
Actually, the KLR it's for me until I die, until I quit riding. I'm not going to give up on it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well,
I'm still here.
I don't mean so much give up on it. I mean,
it's the problem with my life in the KLR. The only problem I have with it is it's not a 2-up bike. Can you ride 2-up? Yes, you can technically, but you're so high. I don't feel comfortable putting my wife that high on a bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean that's what I'm asking. I mean, would you, have you thought about?
Oh, I've thought about it. I've actually thought about getting myself a Honda Rebel. Little 250.
And catch hell from Tom?
Well, I also own a KLR.
Yeah, I know, but catch hell from Tom.
Well, Tom and I have one of those love-hate relationships anyway. I love him, he hates me.
He don't hate you.
No, actually, Tom and I are so close, it's unreal. I think he'd razz me, but it wouldn't be nothing, you know. But I've actually thought about something small like that for just in town, the wife on the back, you know.
Go find you a little 250 dual sport.
What I really need is a Harley trike.
I know where there's a bunch of those sitting for sale.
Too much. I know a whole shop full. My father-in-law has, I think it's either a 2010 or 2009 Harley trike. It's blue.
It blew.
And his is blue.
Oh, I thought you meant it blew up.
No. And that bike is, I'll tell you, except for being a trike, it's sweet. That bike is just so awesome. myself, I can't see myself riding a trike right now. I really can't. You know?
Well, if you're wanting to go distance, that's probably the way to go.
Which he has the trunk. He doesn't have just the bottom trunk. He has the top trunk also,
Mhm.
and that would be kind of cool to have to like go camping and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, to be by myself, the KLR is awesome in my eyes because I mean I just throw all my gear on it. If I want to go camping out in the middle of the woods, I just go. You know?
Well, most of those trikes they take regular car tires on the back wheels. You can go
Yeah,
get you
and that's
you can go get you some mud tires.
one of the complaints he's having too with his trike.
Yeah.
That thing only gets in the 30s for mileage. Low
Well,
30s, I believe he said.
what does he expect? It
It's a sports
weighs.
car, 3 wheels.
No, it ain't so much. No, it ain't a sports car. It's twice the width, or it's got twice the weight of a regular bike.
No, you should see his trike. It is a sports car. It has everything except for air conditioning and heat. It has
You know,
everything.
you talk about that. A buddy of mine I worked with, he had he went through a bunch of bikes. When I first started working there, he had a Honda Nighthawk 750. It was a pretty new. It was a fairly new one, and he traded that for or he ended up selling it and went and bought a Katana. He had the Katana for like 2 months, decided he didn't like it, and he went and bought a Honda Shadow, which was a 1000 cc, big bike. I mean, it looked pretty, brand new. He bought it brand new. He had it for a season, decided he didn't want that. Took it, traded it in on a GSX-R 1000. And he bought that because another guy that worked at the same shop, he just bought a
Okay.
Hayabusa. He's trying to keep with the Joneses here.
I
And huh?
I can't. I was never that way, and to be honest with you, I can't imagine being that way.
Well, it gets better. It gets better. So he was all about this Gixxer 1000. He took it to go. He took it to Cleveland once for a football game, and he came back. He said, "Never again." And he's a big guy like me. And so anyway, he decided he went ahead and took that bike and traded it in on a Goldwing, brand new Goldwing. I mean, this guy. I would hate to see how much he tacked on to this original loan. But
I
this is also the same guy. The joke he went by was, if the American dream is to be 100,000 in debt, he lived it twice over.
oh jeez.
That's what he lived by. And he bought the Goldwing, and he was all about the Goldwing. I think I lost contact quite a few years ago. But when he got it, he was saying how this thing was like a $30,000 bike. I'm like, really? That much for a bike?
I that's about the. Oh, actually, it was over. I believe 30,000 for a Harley trike, like my
Well,
father was.
anyway, that thing had a 6 CD changer, had the built-in intercom system on it,
He has intercom
had
system.
had all that crap. Came with a set of jackets. Came with it, and there were special jackets that had hoses that hung off the arms, and there was vents on it. There's hoses hooked up to the vents. The bike had air conditioning.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it would blow because it had a compressor and a evaporator and all that crap, and you could run it and it would blow cold air into the jacket. And the way the jacket worked, there was a tube that went from the lining up into the helmet, and it would blow cold air up into the helmet, so you could shut the vents off and blow cold air in the helmet.
See, I have air conditioning too. I just buy a big bag of ice and sit on top of the fairing of the goat and go down the road.
well, no. He's sitting there telling me all this. I'm like, why? He's like, oh man. He goes, I can ride that to California and back and not even know it. I said, $30,000 bike, Kenny. Come on. I said, do you realize you paid more for that bike than your Trailblazer and your Mustang?
See, that's one thing that stuck in my craw. Why would somebody pay so much more, especially in my area? I mean, my father-in-law loves his trike and everything.
He lives in Ohio.
Like, he paid more for his bike than his house. I'm like, well, you can't live on a trike. I mean, I love the trike and everything.
He's going to try.
You can't live on a trike.
He's going to try.
You can try. It's not an apartment. I mean, it's not a house.
Well, you know, like I told him, I said, really? I said, dude, it's... Why? He's like, oh, man. He goes, he got it. He's like, he was all about this thing. He's like, oh, man, I don't know why I ever pissed with those other bikes, this and that. And I said, yeah, until someone goes and buys something bigger and badder, and you're going to have to try and one-up them.
I know where there's 2 Goldwings sitting right now. Neither one of them run.
Well, like I said, this one was brand new in 2004. Brand new.
John got his hands, the Buckeye boys. John got his hands on 2 trikes, figured try to get one running for Keith. And he found out that both of them ran without oil.
There you go.
He said, I'm stopping there. So they're all sitting there parts.
Yeah, man, that's... Well, that's like, did you watch that video I did on that little rally that went through town I threw up?
I don't remember it.
I posted it not too long ago.
More than likely I've seen it, I just don't remember
Yeah.
it. You know?
Yeah, they bunch of Harleys, some trikes.
Coolest trike I've seen in my area, somebody took a Fiero and turned it into a trike. That actually looked pretty cool from the back.
Yeah, you know why they did that? Because the engine was back there. All they basically did was cut the body pan off. Yeah.
They left the seats on, and they had the motorcycle seat in the middle, so you can have it for passengers.
Yeah, they had a 3-seater.
Not quite legal in Pennsylvania to ride like that, but they had it there anyway.
Yeah, he had a 3-seater.
Yep. I came up behind that thing. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a helmet sticking above the roof line.
He left the roof line.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Why'd he do that?
Don't know. Then there was a guy that lived on the other end of my block. I mean, he had a Volkswagen trike. The fiberglass body and everything was there. The motor went on it, so it sat there for years. And right before he got, basically, his house got condemned because it's beyond repair. But anyway, he got a Volkswagen and had a good engine in it. He just never put it together. I'm like, oh man, do you know what kind of money you have just in that Volkswagen sitting there? And the body was actually in pretty decent shape. I told him, I said, the running boards are worth a mint, you know?
Well, yeah, to the right person.
I mean, Volkswagens, just a lot of people are really well sought after. Myself, I don't care for Volkswagen bugs. I actually had a Volkswagen Rabbit once. I loved that car until I started buying parts for it.
they like their parts.
Well, it was a Volkswagen Rabbit of 1980. Most of them around here were diesels. And I just happened to got the one oddball, it seemed like, that was gasoline. So every time I want to buy a part for it, it'll be here in 2 weeks. It's like I got to go work now, not 2 weeks. You know. So I took it. I got it barely running and took it up and traded it in. We're doing something right. We're holding steady at 3 viewers.
They're dedicated.
Oh, they're hardcore, I tell you. Oh, and I will be. I'm gonna cut this off at 10 o'clock because it just. I like last time. I do have an early morning again coming up. I don't like that early mornings. When I was younger, I used to be a morning person. I get up all chipper and everything. Anymore, I get up in the morning and said, "Why is the sun up?"
Why is the sun up? The day
Yes.
star. It burns.
Somebody needs to stop that.
It's one of those ones they speculate when the sun's going to explode. Why can't it explode now?
Yes.
Why can't it explode now?
I got my portable heater with me. That's actually
Jesus.
brought me to popped in my head. One of my creations in my garage, if you want to call it that.
Creation.
Started, yes. I was going to make myself a generator, electric generator, because in my area we get brownouts and power outages quite often. And back when I started this, it was actually cost effective to create your own generator with using power inverters and car batteries, you know, and basically a lawnmower engine and a alternator of a Chevy.
Well, most generators they're basically mower engine with a magneto or something.
Yes, yes, but this way here was a way to work around it, and it would have been cheap. I had all the parts, but except for the alternator from the Chevy car. And I started looking around for alternators. Even used ones were like $70. And I'm like, well, do you know what? For $100, and my setup would have given me a 1,000-watt peak. I can get a 2,000-watt peak for a little over $100 from Harbor Freight. You know what I mean? It's like it just ain't cost effective. So I got that project creation of mine still sitting there. I just got to tear it apart and get rid of it. You know. The engine still runs. Matter of fact, what I did is I found somebody was throwing out a pressure washer.
Yeah, if you want to do it really cheap, wind your own armature. I mean, I don't know how much you'd have in copper though to do it. If you wind your own armature and you make your own magnetron, but I don't know how much it would be in copper. You would need a lot of copper to wind it.
Exactly. Like I said, it gets less effective as you go along, cost effective. And it's just cheaper for me to go out and buy a 2,000-watt peak generator from Harbor Freight and stick it in my back porch. You know what I mean? But I had it all set up.
Either that, or you can go get one of the ones that run on natural gas.
It's easy to convert a gasoline engine over to natural gas. It's not that hard. I've done it to a tow motor. People call it forklifts, tow motors, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, where I work, we call them tow motors.
We had one at the shop. It was whenever I first started working, it ran off gasoline. Every time you run that thing in the shop, of course, what do? You fill the shop up with fumes, you know? And I was looking at that, and I talked to the one foreman, and I said, well, how hard it is to change that over to natural gas. And he said, well, look into it. And we had maybe, it was like around $100 invested into it, and it started up and ran on natural gas, no problem. And that was back in the late 80s, though.
Well, it's still combustible. I mean, the gas company did it for years.
Mm-hmm.
Their vehicles ran on natural gas. Compressed natural gas.
I'll tell you what, if I can get one to run off farts, I'd be eating beans for a lifetime. Oh.
Forget
Either
beans.
that or eat
Just go eat at Mickey D's, man. That gives me gas.
That gives me the shits. Pardon my language.
That gives me gas.
I mean, I can almost time it. Like it's like 2.5 hours after eating McDonald's, I'm running to the bathroom. Like, what did they do to me? But I do stop to get their sweet teas whenever I'm on the road. I do enjoy their sweet tea while I'm hot. And it's only $1. Cause I've actually thought about doing that whenever I was building my creation. Because I mean, I was sitting there thinking, I have my propane grill. I could just hook right into that in an emergency. And they are quieter.
Yeah, but if you do with a regular small engine, it's still gonna be loud. It's hard to make them quiet.
Yeah, without affecting the engine, actually how it runs too. I mean, you could do different things with exhaust and stuff, but still, you're affecting the performance. Like whenever I was a kid with the push mowers, I get old wore out push mowers and take the mufflers off just to actually gain performance and cut down weeds as high as my hips.
You're running straight off of the block.
Yeah, I used to put little nipples on it, just enough to get so that if it started smoking, it didn't cover me. Yeah. That thing was loud as could be. Dad, there's no more of that. No more
No,
of that.
really? Of course, it's loud as can be. There's no muffler whatsoever.
Well, back then, I mean, I lived out in the country when I was a kid, and back then, noise laws, if they were around, they weren't enforced. You know what I mean? But I was cutting down fields with that thing.
Dude, I live in the middle of town, and my lawn tractor is almost too noisy because it has a leak in the muffler right there, and it's fucking loud.
My last one's that way. In fact, it's got one of those. You know, the lawn tractor has a muffler in the front.
Yeah, that's
The
where mine
whole,
is.
the whole underneath is all rotted out. It's all missing.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
mine is.
your tractor's a little loud. I don't care. And we do have noise laws. It's just they don't enforce them unless it's a car, or even then, not many cars get enforced unless you have stereos blasting. Because we got all those Ohio cars coming over.
You mean Pennsylvania cars?
No, most of the junk cars around here are from Ohio.
Oh no, I'm talking about the annoying cars.
My SUV is nice and quiet. You can actually talk to the person beside you whenever it's running.
Oh yeah, the car I got now, you can't hear it run.
Unless the key's turned on.
No, seriously, you can't hear it run.
My wife was talking, that's why I turned the mic off.
Tell her I said hi. Yes, the crazy furry said hi.
He said the crazy furry says hi. I got the mic turned on so he can hear you. Yeah, you ever do get your bike, more than welcome to come up. You can hang out here.
Well, this is either. Huh? Oh, why not? That's a challenge now.
He said, "Why not as a challenge now?" I should just pull my headsets off so you can hear each other.
I'll go ahead and come and wave to all the neighbors for you and.
Neighbors will really think we're freaky then. Maybe they're stoned.
Did you hear her?
Yeah, I heard her. Why do they think you're stoned?
Well, we're having a furry round. I think I'm weird anyway.
There's a lot more in Pennsylvania than there are down here.
Not in this area. Not in this area.
Oh yeah? What's it called?
This is Sharon.
Sharon?
Sharon.
Let's see here. See how many I can find in Sharon.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
How far are you from Aliquippa?
Otherwise,
Quite a ways.
Mercer County.
Mercer County. Let's see if I can sort that way.
See, we're in Mercer County, but we are basically right on the state line for Ohio.
See here, browse by state. Pennsylvania. Let me get a map here so I have an idea where you're at.
What should most of them be the pedophiles?
Nah.
I'm not saying that you're pedophiles or anything. I'm going to say watch most of them be a pedophile in my area, though. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Which we have a large group of pedophiles in our area. I mean, they're all on that list that they have legally because they've been caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, are you by, how far are you from 79? Or 76?
76. Well, it's actually 80 turns into 76. And I'm just north of 80.
Oh, you're clear up. Okay, yeah, I see Sharon. There's Mercer County. Okay, wow, you are way up there. Let's see here. It'll take me a while to hunt for this.
I tell you, if you look too close to Sharon on Google Maps, you see this bright blue house that looks like a beacon. That's mine.
I don't have satellite view turned on.
It is so. My house is so screwed up on color. It's unreal. I was supposed to, whenever I painter, I went through this city program. They were coming through and they were going to paint all houses. They wanted me to actually change my siding to vinyl siding. I got the aluminum on now, and I told them no. My aluminum siding is going to last much longer than the vinyl. You know. Since we're trying to vitalize, make the city look more nicer, we'll go ahead and paint your house. I said, no problem. I picked the paint color, and the guy started painting my house, and it was neon blue. And, I mean, it was a bright, light neon blue. And I looked at him and said, that's not the color I picked. He said, oh, yeah, it is. It'll darken down. And that's been like...
Not on aluminum siding, it won't.
4.5 years ago this happened.
Like I said, non-aluminum siding, it won't darken down.
Well, I didn't know either way. You know what I mean? And I looked at it, and I still look at it like, oh, I got this nice, pretty, light blue sky colored house. It's the beacon of Sharon. Which is better than a lot of the colors I've seen around here. I mean, a lot of these colors, you look at the houses, like they must have been colorblind. You got pink houses, you got so many different colors. And an older style house that don't look good.
I'm surprised they came through and painted the house.
Well, they came through. Matter of fact, I got on a program, and I was expecting to get like a small loan to do things like replace windows, my furnace, stuff like that, you know. And here, since I signed on to the program, the city, I was like the first so many. It was all free. I had to agree to live in a house for 5 years.
Yeah, okay.
And I told them, I said, well, that's okay because I'm planning on being here until my neighbors smell my stinking rotten body. You know, I'm not moving again.
Stinking rotten body.
Yeah, I'll be dead and I'll be rotting and I won't care. I'm still here. And the only way I was able to afford this house, my wife and I actually bought it was called a townhouse back then in Germantown, Maryland.
Yeah, I know the townhouse is.
Well, now it's called a condominium.
Well, they changed it to that from.
Well, what it is when they resold the property. Well, in fact, the owner, the person I sold the property, my house to, didn't own the property around it. Whenever I owned it, I actually owned the property around it on the corner. So they just stole the property off underneath them. You know what I mean? But I bought that house for what was it, 90,000, and I sold it for 150,000 a year later.
That's actually a pretty developed area.
Yeah. Well, this was right after 9/11 and then the snipers and stuff. I decided, it's time to come home where it's safer.
Oh no, I'm saying where you live now.
Where I live now, it's developed, but it's all old housing. It was built basically for Sharon Steel, for the workers. Because you'll look at the bottom of the hill, you'll see all the old steel buildings along the bottom of the hill, north and south. So I'd say almost half of the houses that you're looking at are abandoned.
Really?
I got one right next door. The guy just left it. He just left it. He was upside down on the payments. Couldn't figure out what bank bought the mortgage out because it was sold so many times. And he said, "I'm done. I'm out of here." And then, of course, people broke in, stole the copper water lines, and he actually to get so he doesn't have to pay the sewer bill anymore. He poured a bag of concrete down the sewage pipe. So the place is pretty much trashed out. The house still looks decent from the outside. I've actually thought about if I ever get my hands on that property, I'd like to get the house torn down to the ground and just fill the basement in, and possibly get some of that it's got vinyl siding right now on it, and just because I have wood siding on my garage, just put the vinyl siding on top of wood, and be done. Right now it's an eyesore. We have a raccoon living in there. At least we have a furry living in there, huh?
So your wife don't understand.
Well, I showed her the website, and I've actually forwarded that site that you sent to me. I forwarded that to her through the email. But she's like, "Oh, geez," but she takes it as whatever. And that's the way I kind of see it. It makes you happy. I don't care, you know. And actually, to be honest with you, growing up, and this kind of gives you an idea of the way I am.
There's one. Found one in Sharon.
Really?
28 years old, female.
That's a furry for you.
Yeah.
You have little furries.
Oh God. Wears glasses. She might live down the street.
Oh.
I had to dig to find that one.
I was going to say, growing up, I grew up in a farming community, and I mean, basically they're homophobes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I, not realizing it whenever I was really young, and he probably didn't realize it either, but he ended up being homosexual. My best friend. And whenever I realized that he was homosexual, I told him, you know, I don't give a care what you'd like, but just don't hit on me, and we'll be fine, you know. And we're still good friends to today. It's like I don't care. Do what you like.
That's half the fun.
That's it. Life is too short. Well, most life. I sometimes I wish mine was a little shorter, but that's okay. I created that one now. I can't believe you actually found one furry in Sharon. I bet you she's in the closet.
Who?
The furry you found.
Probably.
Because I couldn't see it being accepted in the community. You know what I mean?
You never know. Dude, I've watched kids that are probably no older than 15, 16 years old walk down the street here with a tail on. When we first moved in this house, when we were still working on it before we moved in, we were sitting on the porch taking a lunch break, and this girl, she couldn't have been no more than 15, 16 years old, walking down the street, had a tail hanging from her. And I looked at that, and I'm just I started shaking my head. My brother's like, "Dude, you see that?" I said, "Yeah."
She had a little tail.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
She's too young.
Yeah, jailbait.
Oh. Well, I know we're having too much fun here, but we just hit a little 6 after 10. I think I'm going to call it a night, and I'd like to thank you, Dante, for coming.
No problem.
It was actually a pretty interesting conversation we had today, I think.
Oh, you know.
That's one of the reasons why I have this anyway. I really don't expect too many people to come. It's just set up there. If they want to come, we just hang out and BS about anything. Life is too short, you know.
Yeah. You'll get some comments when this one uploads.
Oh, I don't know how long ago this came up, but Danielle, you pronounced that.
Not that long ago.
Said hi. Thanks for coming. Well, let's shut this down. I think I'll go ahead and hold it for one more time, see how well next week it turns out. I mean, I actually enjoy. I don't mind sitting here BSing, and it just my life is this. You know what I mean?
I don't do much more, man.
Okay, like I said, anytime if you want to come on up, get a hold of you. You know you got my you know how to get a hold of me, and let me know. You're more than welcome.
I don't have your Skype or nothing like that.
You got my you know my channel.
Yeah.
PM me through that. It'll go right to my email.
Oh, okay.
That way I'm not giving out too much information, because I tried to cover it the best I could, because that actually has my full name on it. Because that's why my email was set up years ago.
Yeah, I got like 7 emails, so.
I don't like giving out my full name all the time, because you just don't know who sees this stuff. It's bad enough they stole my social security number. You know?
Well, you know.
There's actually 3 other Michael. Well, I almost said my name. 3 other people that have my name on it.
Yeah, well, it used to be when someone looked up my name, it came up with some oceanographer over in Europe.
Well, see, I have 3 other people with my exact name.
Yeah.
Living in Mercer County.
Well, you know, so it's real funny. If you look up Dante Fox on YouTube, you'll find some British band.
Actually, I did do that one.
Yeah, you'll find a British band, and it's hilarious because my Twitter handle is just Dante Fox. Anytime someone from a radio station over there tries to tag that band, I get the hit.
Oh, jeez.
I get the hit. And I've gotten, I don't know how many random follows from someone because they're thinking it's
Following the band.
They think it's the band's Twitter page. And first I found out, I said, they can't be serious. Yeah. If you try looking up Dante Fox on YouTube, first thing that comes up is, it's starting to even out now because the more videos I upload. But yeah.
First time I met you, I went on YouTube and I typed in your name instead of going through the links from the video, and I came across that band, and I'm like, this ain't the right guy. I backed out, and I discovered how to go through the links.
Yeah.
Google Plus.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't the guy. Because I was hearing about you. I mean, if I would have seen furry stuff, because I was aware of that by talking to you about the furry and everything. And I was expecting to see some different things, but I'm like, it's not a band. It's definitely not a band.
Yeah, that's the funny part about when people try to look up. They get a band. I'm like, that's okay. It's serious. Like every once in a while, like when a radio station over there will try to at them on Twitter, I get the notification.
Oh.
I keep joking. I keep waiting for when I get a contact from when they get big enough. I get a contact from their lawyer and would say, "Look, asshole, I've had this Twitter handle long before they got famous."
Yeah.
I said, "You're gonna have to give me some money to give it up."
See what if you notice, I just crammed Muzzle Mike together for my YouTube. For my Google Plus, I have it all crammed together, and also I have Muzzle and Mike separated because they were forcing first and last names. So for first and last name, I just separate them, So that's my two Google Plus accounts. Then I have the Powder Den, which I never used that because I was going to set that up as my gun channel because I knew I'd get some people from like the UK and stuff or just gun haters come on my channel and just tear things apart. Well, they haven't quite done that yet, but I decided to go ahead and just throw everything together as on one channel. So why mess around? I liked it a little bit better before they started all this Google Plus crap. I really did.
Well, I don't mind it too much. I mean, heck, I remember getting into the beta for Google Plus before it was popular. Same way with like the Google Music account. I live inside Google a good bit, so.
Dude, I was running Google Plus when it was beta. I did run it then, but I mean, that was just after I started on the YouTube. My YouTube account was only been I started in 2010, November actually. And I didn't actually use it until the following February. Because I really didn't know what I was going to do with it because I was really into deep muzzleloading, hunting, and stuff. I was just getting into motorcycles. But like I said, I like the YouTube the way it was before. There is some good things with Google, but Google's taking over my world too much. That's why for about 2 days a week I unplug. It's just too much. Oh, it seems like I might have a freeze up. Well, this is Muzzle Mike. I thank everybody for coming. Dante, sorry about it. We'll freeze up. I don't know what happened. Thanks for coming. I'll hold it again next week. Thank you guys for coming to the Muzzle Monday.